We were into, last class. Okay, last class we have defined some of the models. Uh, Maybe employee entity. An employee entity contains employee ID, employee name, and employees. And second thing is, employee repository, extend JPA repository. This is employee entity, and integer is the primary key of employee entity. Now we write something like, one service that contains so many methods like create employee, update employee based on employee ID, get employee based on employee ID, get all employees, and, you know, delete employee based on employee ID and delete all employees. These are the things actually we have done, like, our last class. Now again, now we need to take the now create employee. Just you're doing what? You're taking the employee as the input and employee repository dot save. It's saving the database. Now update employee same. It says save. If it is more than that, you can use save all method. Now what we need to do? Update employee based on employee ID. If you want to update what you want to update, then we want to name, for example, name also dynamic also you can change it. But anyway, now as of now we don't have dynamic. We will take find by repository dot. Right, what is that's not. Oh, sorry. Within the method we are not writing. That's the reason it's not. Okay. Okay. Repository dot find all, find by ID. What we are giving in the model we're giving employee ID, but you want to find by ID. No, you won't get. Then what we need to do? Go to repository. In this public employee employee entity find by, then property name should be E should be capital letter. That's it. That way we have to write your own queries. Integer I. Okay. If you want to write your find by ID is not there. Okay. Find by ID is there, but your entity type is what? Your entity type is column name is employee ID. But we won't get data from the database using find by all ID. Then what we need to do? We have to write your custom query in the repository. Then find by employee ID. Okay. This employee ID we can use here. You can pass it. Okay. Now anyway we are getting the data find by ID update, right? Now we find the data. What will get? One employee, then we'll get a employee entity. Employee reference variable. Now you want to change something name in dynamic or static. Dynamic, if you want to change, you have to take a parameter. But anyway, as of now, if you want to uh, uh, statically, you can change. That means like, now I want to add a constructor and setters and gets. Constructor, I think I didn't add previously. We have to add setters and gets and constructor. Constructor and gets. Okay. Now in the service layer, what I'm planning to do, I'm setting the new value. For example, name. Previously, some name is there. Now, Nane I can kept. Then I want to save this. How to save? Database dot repository dot save, save employee entity, we can add it. Now what happened? Save successfully. Save, save. Ensure that save method what it will do. Okay. Employee entity. Uh, as of now, I have done save completed or save done. Okay. Now this is the update employee based on employee ID. Now what we need to do? Now again what? Get employee based on employee ID. Get find all by we can use. Okay. Then now what we need to do? We will use repository dot find by ID. Find by employee ID. You want only one, right? Then what we need to do? We have to use employee ID. That is enough. Then we can return it. Return it because only an employee we can return. Already we wrote custom query. This is. Now what? Find all employees. Find all employees means list of employees we need to return, right? Then what happened here? Like repository dot repository dot find all method is that find all. Then find all method. It's no need to pass any value. Return is list of employees. List of now what happened? Delete employee based on EMP ID. Okay. Then repository dot delete by ID. See, delete by ID is there. But ID is what we are actually implemented. We are implemented employee ID, EMP ID. This is not there. Then what we need to do? We have to go with the delete by date and delete type void. Okay, no problem. Now what we need to do? We have to go to the repository. Delete by ID is not there. Please delete by ID. Can you create a integer public void? See what happened if any method is not there, find by like that, delete by this employee ID where it is there from it is there in ID, employee ID, but E should be capital letter you have to add if you want to write a custom query. See, I'm writing this way, delete by ID, see, delete by employee ID. Now you are based on employee ID, you're deleting. Delete by ID is there, but our primary key is what? Our primary key is what it is called? Our primary key is the employee ID, not ID. It's saying here, our primary key is employee ID, not a this ID. If you're having a this ID, you need to create a custom queries. Okay. That's the reason we are adding employee ID. That is the reason what we are doing. We are writing a custom queries and we are using it. Okay. Okay. Now what happened? Once this is done, we are getting the data and delete by ID. Once deleted, we need to return something. Otherwise, deleted or not, we don't know, right? Delete, deleted. S U C C E S E S S F U L L. Deleted successfully. Okay. Then, uh, 10. This is the delete. Now delete all employees. Now delete all employees. You need to write any query because already JP repository will give delete all method, delete all method, delete all record successfully. Mm. Okay. This is a what actually business logic layer it contains. First, what like last session we wrote entity class and we wrote repository last session and we wrote some interface. This interface contains all methods, all abstract methods. And now what we actually writing and it's business logic. This is what actually business logic. Now what we need to do, we have to write a controller. Right? We have to write a controller. Right click, go to package, maybe controller, employee controller, employee controller. Employee controller annotated with what? REST controller, REST controller and request mapping. In this request mapping, what we are giving slash API. Now, what and all we need to implement. We have so many methods to implement. These many methods we have to. Then what we need to do simply, you can copy this all methods. You can put into the your controller layer. Now, controller layer is a class you need to implement one by one. Then what create for what method you have to use? At the rate post mapping, create, then click like that. Done. Okay. Return we will see later. Okay. Now after that update. Update what mapping you have to use. At the rate put mapping. Update. Then we have to add a body. Body later will update name based on ID. Update. Then update its came. Then what? Put only. At the rate put mapping. Update slash ID. If you're giving employee ID like that, you have to give here same name. Okay. Then we can add it. That is done. Update. Now get by employee ID based on ID. Get employee based on ID. You can say, but get what method you need to use? Get mapping employee slash colon employee ID. I told like that we have to use parameter. This is a request parameter. Whatever you adding here, you have to add it. Then add a body. Done. Now what? Get all. This is get employee. Now get mapping what? Get all, right? Then what method? Get mapping all employees. You don't need to do anything. Okay. Employees then delete employee based on ID. Now what? Delete mapping out. Delete mapping. Delete employee ID. EMP ID. If you're giving EMP ID is a big letter, a small letter, you have to give here also same. Okay. Then instead of that, you can pass all is like that, so that it should be unique. Okay. Now done. Now delete all. What mapping you have to use? Get the data. Delete mapping. Delete all cuts. You don't have to do anything. Just you have to do it. Done. Now what happened? Whatever the methods you have in to implement in the controller layer, we have already done. Good. Now how to interacting with the controller layer to service layer. Then we need to auto wire this interface. This interface we need to auto wire. Auto wire. Now what happens simply, if you to call, what is this post for create, right? Save method. What method? Create a employee there, no? Create a employee. Then call it. You can pass it. Because now you can return. Okay, now what we are creating a employee. Now what you're doing, control click is going to the here. Then what is the implementation? This implementation. Go to the repository and save it successfully. You will get a save record, save successfully. Employee records. Okay, that will come. Again, second what? Update method. Then go to controller, employee service, and update employee. Then now I want to update based on ID, whatever it may be. I already done that. Then business logic already I did. I have completed update employee based on ID. Then just it pass employee ID. That's it. Then return it. Then anyway business logic whatever you wrote that it will return. Okay. Now again what happened? Get service start. Get employee based on ID. Then you have to pass employee ID. Then what we need to do? We have to return it. Same, nothing. We actually created some of the methods we have implemented in business logic. Same methods only we are calling from the controller. That's it. Now again, what we are going, I'm copying. Okay, that get employee, get all employees. Then you can return it. Then all employees will get. Then delete employee based on ID. Delete. employee based on ID. You can pass employee ID here. That's it. And we can return. Now we can delete all, delete all employees, delete all employees. You don't need to do anything. Can return. Yeah. Now this is the what actually we need to write a controller. Controller, just what we need to do. We can write a put mapping for create, update for update, update by ID update, get for ID get mapping for getting the data, delete for delete all based on ID, and delete. These are the things actually we need to write. Now we need to test this application. Then what we need to do first? First we need to write here your properties file. Now what is the properties file you have to add? Go to the Google and okay, MySQL properties. Then it will get your properties YAML file or application.yaml file. What are the DB, what are the password, and what is the JPA, debug level, all the things they are giving you. Then just this copy paste. Okay, just this copy paste here and paste it. Now, Hibernate configuration. This is the dialog. You want, you can use it, otherwise not required. And now, what do you want? What is your database name? What is your database name? What is your user ID? What is your password? Then told you Oracle Workbench. Oracle Workbench you can go. Okay, no problem. Clicking on this. Then what is my user ID? Password is root R-O-T root R-O-T root. My database name is IVC. How can I get to know this database and all? Okay. This is the, for example, maybe new file you want, right? Okay, new. Now, first, I don't know anything. Then what we need to do? First, SHOW. So, BASS databases. This command, please execute. So, databases. Okay, this is the symbol to execute. You will get the so many databases. Something default databases. I don't want that. I want to create a one database. Create database. Database name. For example, YOGI. Yogi. Now Yogi database is there inside? No. If you say MySQL is there, my schema, CSS, something, that's it. There is no other database. IBC is there, Amma is there, something is there, but now what I'll do, I'll show, see database created. Now show database. See, Yogi database should be there inside. See Yogi database came. Okay. In Yogi database, I am using use Yogi. Yogi database using. Now I am into Yogi database. Now I'm writing a select star from employee, employee entity, for example. Maybe our okay, employee, a very big word, it will be there in the small letter, employee. Is there database? No. Now I want to create database. Okay. Now, what is the values? Three values. You don't know this also. Then simply you can add it. Simply copy paste. I don't know anything. I want to create a database in SQL or MySQL. Data. That's it. Need it will give employee ID, employee name, and all the things. That's it. Just copy this. You don't do any learnings and all you want. Just you can give it to the some internet. It will create. See, employee ID, employee name, EMP ad, EMP salary. See, employee ID created. Now if you Now I want to show my databases. SHOW. So PABL US tables. How many tables I have? See, employee entity table is there. But this should not be like that. This should be employee entity and employee underscore ID, employee underscore name, employee underscore add, employee underscore salary. This is the what I want. Then I have created one more table based on my model. Okay. So drop table. I'm dropping this whole table. I don't want to do that. I don't want to use that. Hmm. In default table in Yogi, it come. Okay. Now I want to create this. Right. Create a table. Okay. Underscore should be. See, now it's created. Now my table name is this. My table name is this. Now what happened? My table name is mapping with this guy. My column name mapping with the bed. Now my column name is okay. Now what I want to map it all guys. It's really not required, but anyway, I am like teaching you guys to learn how. This is a what? Oh, 2 more minutes is there? Ayyo, okay. Quickly we will finish. Okay. Now what is the table name? Table name, database name Yogi, and that's it. Yogi database. We are actually quickly I'll run it. Tomorrow maybe I'll show you one by one how to save, how to update, how to delete. Okay. If it is not running also no problem. I will fix that issue. 90% it will run. You see. See, started successfully. Now we can enter the value, delete the value, update the value, and whatever you want, you can delete it. Quickly, can you connect to next meeting or tomorrow you will go ahead with session? What is the time? The time is there, man. Up to 9 I want to put. Can you please join the another session so that another meeting so that I can show you in the postman how to add, how to delete. Okay? Please connect.